Namaste. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming to day 3, the 3-day challenge. Shall we say you made it? And if this is just your first time, then that's great too. But it's really been a delight to be with you, and I hope you've enjoyed the practices and so many people I know and those that I don't know. So what a great opportunity to get to know other people and also just to inspire you with some of the practices and teachings that have really lit up my life for a very long time. So it's great. Today is a gentle class, and I want to talk a little bit about flow, just entering into the flow. And it seems like we want to flow in life, but we're resisting it at the same time. And I think what flow really means to me is to allow ourselves to flow like water in the current of grace. And we can really learn a lot about ourselves by learning about the qualities of water. So I'm a swimmer, and I swim 2 to 3 times a week with the U.S. Master Swim Team. I'm not a masterful swimmer, okay? It's just, master swim is just like swimming lessons for old people. But it's really great. It's a great team. And, swimming with a team, with a coach, then helps push, just pushes me a little bit further than I would go by myself. And the health benefits are amazing. But, as we basically, our medium is earth. Like human beings, we're the medium for fish is water. But for us, it's earth. And earth is nice, and it's great. There's a lot of resistance in earth. There's gravity, number one, and then there's just the sort of the thickness of everything. Things are heavy. And water is different. It's like a medium of flow. And whenever I get into the water, like that first lap, I probably am a little more sensitive than the other swimmers, but I feel like I can feel the water as soft and the water as cohesive. In fact, the water has a little bit of a hug around my skin, and it feels good. And another feature is that it's wet. Okay, so, but anyway, water also is buoyant, and it holds me up. And it just is such a wonderful feeling to shift the medium from earth, which is basically just gravity, to water, which is less gravity, more cohesion, and there's more of a flow. And once I get established in my breath, the idea of just, skimming through the water is just very delightful. It's also a really great workout. But I was thinking about water, like to be able to flow in our lives, we want to be able to access the current of grace. And in the tantric teaching, grace is all around us at all times. The current is already there. It's just that because we cling, we get attached, we have fear that just contracts us down, we're not able to access that flow. So we want to be able to enter the flow, enter the current more, but we have to let go. And that's really the feature of water, is there's a kind of surrender in it. And I think of like the visualization of, going downstream. You take the current and you let the current move you, compared to swimming upstream, where we're striving, where we're working so hard, and we're doing it all ourselves. And the idea is we want to let life support us, because life is happening for us. It's not happening to us. And that everything, even challenges, everything in life is for our awakening. So when we have that kind of attitude, then the challenges that we come across are like obstacles. Water flows around obstacles. It doesn't fight with the rock. It just goes around it. And, over a long period of time, we see that the power of water is even greater than earth. It wears earth away, so it can wear down rock. So, but we have to learn how to release, how to let go, and how to stop swimming upstream. And a lot of times we just have to shift our perspective, to try less, to stop striving so much, and to savor and enjoy. And, part of my New Year's resolution is to slow down, to not go so fast all the time. So, how do we slow down? And the other feature about water is what helps water flow is earth, because water only takes the shape of its container. And if the riverbanks are soft and not clearly defined, the water just meanders, river meanders, and it overflows its banks. So we want to learn how to establish healthy self-boundaries. And when we do, that boundary itself leads to freedom. And in Tantra, we're not bound beings seeking freedom. We're free beings seeking boundaries. Because if you don't bind yourself to what your heart most deeply desires, something else is going to bind itself to you. And it's probably not going to be what you want. So to flow with the current of grace, to flow in the purpose, like to find what is our purpose, and to go there without resisting. And when challenges come, that's usually when we resist, when challenges come, to learn how to go around those obstacles. So challenges actually contribute to life-enhancing change. The obstacles become opportunities. And what we think is a stumbling block is a stepping stone to go higher. And in this way, our whole attitude of life can shift, from life is suffering to life is pretty darn good. Life is full of the opportunity to flow and to have moments of joy. And in this moment of joy, there's space, and in space is insight, and insight is what gives us deeper meaning. We start getting glimpses of who we truly are inside. And, part of the tantric path is to learn that as we connect more with our humanity, we are connecting more with our divinity, because that universal flow, the current of grace, is not outside of us. The current of grace is inside. It's just we've limited ourselves from having access to it through, clinging to the weeds on the side of the river, getting caught up in branches, which is basically mental samskaras and issues where we just keep kind of falling into the same patterns. So to release, to trust something bigger, to open, to get into the center of the river where the current of grace is the strongest, and then to let go and allow that to pull us downstream. And all water eventually ends up in the source of all water, which is the ocean. We think of the ocean of consciousness. And the way we get there is through setting healthy boundaries. So sit up tall, join your index fingers and thumbs. We create a little boundary here with making this little circle. Index fingers are limited self. Thumb is the flow, and we want to touch the flow. And isn't it interesting? It's a circle, meaning that there's no beginning, no ending. We enter the infinite vastness of our consciousness symbolically through this gesture. Palms down so that we receive it. Palms up is fine, but it's more like, okay, let me go to another place. Let's transcend. And no, Tantra is, let's weave ourselves even more deeply into the lives that we've created. And then close your eyes, attune to the water element in the form of your breath, and let your breath flow like a river. With the inhalation, lift your side ribs, take your shoulders back, and create our first boundary, head of the arm bones back. Hug your shoulder blades lightly to create a stronger riverbank for the heart to surrender and open. And as you exhale, hips get heavy. We appreciate gravity, but in the water element, we don't let gravity define us. You are free to create and change and shift. We think of water, there's a wisdom teaching how you can't step into the same river twice because it moves. Let your breath flow. Let your breath move. Let your life move. And then with each exhalation, see if you can release any attachment. Surrender a bit more. Lift your throat, take your palate back, lift the back of your skull up. And try to place the center of your palate over the center of the floor of your pelvis. So we have palate, pelvis, heart. place in the middle now where the current is the strongest, deep in the heart. Set your intention. What wants to flow more today and throughout this year? What's your intention? And what is the healthy self-boundary that you really do need to create to maintain your center? And sometimes it's to release toxic relationships, or to change your job, or to set up a routine, a schedule, and stick to it. What is the boundary you need to sustain and increase the flow of grace in your life? And then bring your palms together in front of your heart and find the place between flow and boundary. Let's offer that to each other as we take a breath and chant one Om. To the flow in your heart, gently bow. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Offer namaste to all those who are here. Welcome, welcome. All right, come on up to a standing position. You're going to need a chair for our practice, so any chair will do. So just have the chair nearby, have it ready. And come stand, feet parallel, hip distance apart. Our technique today to enhance boundary, it's always the second essential of Ashaya, which is engage. There are 4 essentials, which are 4 basic alignment principles of Ashaya. It's open, engage, aligned, and expand. And engage is that earth element that creates the boundary. So when you stand, and throughout our practice today, we're going to do toes up. So lift your toes, but keep the 4 corners of your feet rooted. And especially the earth toe, which is the little toe, it's often just sort of frozen. And I'd like you to try to lift your 5th toe. And then make sure all the toes are lifted evenly, because some people have more facility. Okay, the big toe goes way up and then the little toe goes down. Just make them even. And when your toes are up, the arches of the bottoms of the feet lift, which is great. And you pull up energy from the feet all the way up into the pelvic core. So maintain that boundary. Then hands to hips, and for more flow, take your thighs back. We create a curve in the back, which is like the shape of a wave. Keep your thighs back, then pull your tailbone in. Stretch your arms out to the side and up on the in-breath. And then exhale, fold forward and touch. You can bring eagle talons to the floor. If you can't touch the floor, very easily you can get 1 or 2 blocks and touch the block. And for a technique today, which I'm calling shins in, thighs wide, you put your hands on your upper outer shins and just squeeze your shins in toward the middle. That is like the riverbank, that's the boundary. And that's what we need to create a swifter flow. So keep your toes up, 5th toes especially. Hug your shins to the middle. And then from the knee up to the sitting bone, widen your thighs. So shins in and thighs wide, they're 2 opposite actions. We want to make these contrasts complementary. So roll your thighs in, move them back, widen them apart, but keep your shins hugged. You may feel some pressure in the ankles, in the knees, and in the hips. And that's because shins and thighs wide helps to realign ankles, knees, and hips, and the spine actually. Also, make your shins perpendicular to the floor. Often if you have hyperextended knees, most people, they'll go into Uttanasana and their shins are at an angle. They go back. Well, that tightens your psoas and actually closes down the flow of water. Hips are the area of the body where the water element is strongest, obviously.
So that's going to tighten everything. So you got to bend the knees, get your shins perpendicular. Then push your shins to the middle with boundary and widen your thighs. You kind of give yourself a little resistance in a good way. Okay, awesome. Okay. Inhale, heart forward, and then exhale, take your left foot back into lunge and bring your left knee down to the floor. And try to do shins in, thighs wide. In this pose, put your right hand on the right shin. You can push, widen your right hip, and get a sense of what is the action to make the shin go in and to widen the hip wide. Keep your toes up. Very good. Then walk your left knee back a little bit and roll up onto the right heel. And again, push your shin in, widen your right thigh. And then deepen your breath. Make sure the breath is in a flow state. Spread your toes. Make your fifth toe widen. Okay, now keep the action. You can lightly touch the floor and then bow. Take some deep breaths. Enjoy your suffering. This is a tight pose. And then inhale, come up and do a little twist. So walk your hands to the outside of the right shin and bow. And the twist just offers a different flavor of suffering. So enjoy the difference. Create healthy self-boundaries. Hug your shins and widen your thighs for more flow. Inhale, come back to center. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, heart forward halfway. Exhale, right foot back. Just hold the lunge for a moment, knee off the floor, and breathe. Squeeze your legs toward each other so you scissor. And then put your left hand on the left shin and push your left shin toward the middle, but widen your left thigh out. Try to find the place of balance. So as much as you hug your shin, that much you push your thigh wide. And when you have a balance of boundary and freedom, insights start to happen. You enter the threshold where the current is the strongest, and grace becomes more obvious to you. Grace is like water. Just let the water, imagine you were in water right now, it surrounds your whole body. It doesn't like just do the front of your body. It's everywhere. And it's soft. So soften your skin. Lower your knee. Walk your hands back a little bit. Come up onto the left heel. Root the heel and isometrically drag back like you're digging a trench in the earth. We need the earth element to be able to access water. Spread your left little toe and then put your left hand on the left outer shin. Hug it inward toward the middle and then widen your left hip way out to the left. Draw your tailbone in and then bow. You can touch the floor and breathe into the stretch and then come up and twist. Put both hands to the outside of your left shin. Continue to isometrically pull the left heel backwards, and that's going to engage the muscles. The boundary we're talking about creates support. It creates a container for more energy, more electricity, more Shakti to go through your body. And part of what Ashaya does is to help insulate the nerves and in the subtle body. They're like electrical wires, and when they have the correct amount of thickness of insulation, they can hold a lot more voltage, which means you feel more energy, you feel more calm, you feel more centered. Inhale, come up, and Bend the left knee and then step your right foot forward, root your feet down. And as you root, inhale and rise up. Stretch your arms up overhead. And give yourself a very strong and long stretch. And then take hold of your right wrist and crescent left. Breathe into the stretch. And then inhale. Up, hold your left wrist. Crescent to the right. And breathe. Inhale to center. Exhale. Bring your arms down. Okay, find your chair. And the first one is downward dog on the seat of the chair. So step back, place your hands, and bend your knees a lot at first. Feet parallel. Hug your shins, and even in this position, lift your toes. Bend your knees enough so that you can widen your thighs and try to create a low back curve. So lift your sitting bones way up behind you. At the same time, push your hands down on the chair to get your armpits to lift. And as the arm bones lift, we create a boundary, say no to collapsing your shoulders. So you lift the armpits up, and then you can melt the heart. And with the heart soft like water, let the breath flow like waves on the ocean. Nice deep breaths. This is a really, really good stretch, but you have to keep your armpits lifted. And then from your heart, push back down into your hands. Stretch your hips back. From your heart, take the ankles back as well. Good. And walk in. And come up. For the next one, I like to turn the chair around so you have the tallest part of the chair facing you. Put your hands there, right foot forward, and step your left foot back. So you come into a kind of warrior lunge and adjust your legs so that you feel like you have a good stretch, right knee over the ankle. And then start to turn your hips toward the front. So you take your left hip a little bit more forward, but at the same time push through the left big toe ball mound. So hip forward, but the big toe goes back. And then thighs back, tailbone in. You've got the chair for balance. So in a way, to make it easier, we just take the balancing on your own out of the equation. Good. Now squeeze your shins in toward the middle. Widen your thighs. So left thigh to the left, right hip to the right, tailbone in. And then squeeze your legs toward the middle. See if you can get one arm to go up. Good. And then switch. And then step back. And you can do, it's like a half uttanasana. And then left foot forward lunge. It's like chair vinyasa. Good. Set your legs, set the distance between your legs so it feels good. And then turn your right hip forward more, left hip back, squeeze your legs to the middle. Push straight back through the right big toe ball mound and bring your right hip forward at the same time. And then left arm up. Switch, right arm up. Very good. This time, step your right foot forward and left leg back. This time, both legs straight. Scissor your legs with the right leg straight. Hinge forward. And here, you may need to change the position of your chair, just move forward a little bit. I like to reach down to the back of the seat of the chair this way. You can keep your hands up or further down, or even go all the way to the lowest rung of the chair. Find a place where you can get a nice stretch and continue to work your left hip forward, right hip back. And then keep your left hand on the chair and bring your right arm up. So we go into the twist. And breathe. And then take your right arm over your ear. Stretch. Very good. Bring your hands back to the chair and step your left foot forward. And then right leg back. But both legs straight. And your back foot, it's turned, at an angle, about 45 or 60 degrees. Square your hips to the front. And then scissor and lift your toes. So especially on the the left foot, your toes are up. Hug your shins to the middle, widen your thighs, fold forward more. And then you can place your hands at whatever level on the chair will give you a good stretch. Continue to set the boundary. So you squeeze your legs to the middle, muscles hug bones, and that increases the flow. It's also so good for building bone density. Good twist to the left. See if you can bring your left arm up. And then left arm over your head. And get a really good stretch through the left fingers. Take your left hip back more. And inside every stretch, you should be able to flow the breath. If you can't breathe well, maybe you're going too deep, too fast. And release, come back to center, and then step back forward. All right, very good. Now come on to all fours. One more stretch. And glide your right knee forward for pigeon. Walk your left knee back just a bit. And square your hips to the front. So bring your left hip forward, right hip back. Spread your toes. And then hug, keep your back toes under. And why? Because it engages the shin. So you hug your left shin to the middle and widen your left thigh to the left. And there's a wonderful self-assist. If you reach your left hand around to the inner thigh, and widen your left thigh, if you can reach that far. And your shin hugs in toward the midline, but your thigh will push away from the midline. Then take your tailbone in. It's going to open up the hips and the psoas, and then pull your tailbone in. Fold forward if you can, but keep your shoulders up. Okay, so don't go into a collapse. Like this is just the mush ball pose. Okay. So keep the muscular engagement. The shoulders lift. So it's like for your shoulder, you're like in a little bit of a chaturanga, dandasana pose. Then walk your hands over to the right and turn towards your right leg and twist. Now widen your left thigh to the left more, but don't let your heel go beyond perpendicular. Keep your heel straight up and down. That's the riverbank. Maintain the boundary while you widen your left thigh to the left. It's a tremendous hip stretch and psoas stretch. Hold it. Inhale, come back to center. And if you can, just push back either into downward dog or table. And glide your left knee forward. Curl your right toes under. And bring your right hip forward more, left hip back. Even in pigeon, like if your knee is sore in this pose, you can do Sukhi Randrasana, which is on your back, cross your ankle, but try to create more of a boundary. So press the little toe edge of your left foot down. that hugs the shin. Your heel will lift, actually. And sometimes that creates enough support for the knee. Widen the left hip. And then hug your right shin to the middle. Widen your right thigh. Fold forward. And then walk your hands over to the left for the twist. Turn your heart over to the left, and then pay attention to your right leg. Widen your right thigh, but keep your right heel perpendicular. Hug the shin in with boundary, widen thigh for more freedom. Come back to the breath. Make sure you flow the breath. Keep the water element alive. And inhale, come back to center. Come into plank. You can bring your knees down, belly down. Just do a simple cobra. Inhale up, exhale down. Come into child's pose. Big toes touch, knees a little wider, arms in front. Bring your forehead to the floor or on a pillow. Allow your breath to flow and imagine yourself like a little stone in the river and let the water flow around you. Allow the water to soften your skin. Imagine the current of the river flows over your back. Let it carry anything you're ready to let go of downstream. See if you can let go even more. And instead of swimming with so much effort against the current of life, see if you can let go and go with the current. Just visualize a leaf that just floats on the surface of the current of the water, and it lets the current carry it wherever it goes. And then inhale, slowly come up. Come back into a seated position. Let's sit for a moment. Close your eyes. Allow your breath to flow. And know that when you enter into the center of the current, it's like coming home to your heart again. Life becomes more of a flow. It's not such a burden. Let this water help to fill the vessel of our body with creativity, to find solutions to problems, to allow ourselves to gain wisdom and knowledge from every challenge and every joy. In the current of grace, we're able to learn from the past and bring those lessons forward, to release downstream whatever is no longer life-enhancing. And envision for a moment a beautiful sunrise on the surface of the ocean. Envision your
life expanding. And as you follow your heart, guided by your deep inner purpose, you see the fulfillment of your journey. You create a destiny of greatness, a destiny of inner peace and joy and fulfillment. And that we create a life not so much about rushing around getting things done, but to take time to savor the deeper meaning, to be able to feel each other, to feel our relationships, to be grateful for it all, and to be in the wonder and awe of this amazing life. This is the highest purpose of the practice of yoga. May we use our yoga to enhance our life, our body, mind, and heart. And bring your palms together in front of the heart in this perfect balance of boundary and freedom. Let's allow the universe to flow through us, through our heart. And with gratitude now, we'll take a breath and chant Om. The flow in me bows to the flow in you. Namaste. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me over these 3 days, or even just today. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you want more, I invite you to look into joining the membership at Ashaya. It's every Tuesday and Thursday morning. We'll be sending out an email to you guys to give you an opportunity. There's a promotion. You can do a whole month for the first 14 days are free. So I look forward to that. I love doing this practice. The tantric teachings are really so vibrant, and they help keep us in the current of grace more and more throughout the day. So I hope you'll consider joining me, and have a beautiful day. Namaste.